What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Doing something pretty dope today. My buddy Chris has brought his CVO Street Glide. Obviously, it's no secret after the thumbnail and the title. It's a 135, but it's not just a 135. I was gonna take a video of Chris coming up the driveway so you could hear this thing, which you will hear later in the video, but I was busy working on this. This is my new dual sport. So for those of you that don't know, I started a second channel. It's Throttle Blip Metric, where I show obviously metric bikes, just because I found that Harley people tend to not care about metric. Metric people tend to not care about Harley. And then there's some of us that just enjoy motorcycles in general. So if that's you or you like the metric stuff, go follow that channel. I'm about to head to Iron Mountain with a bunch of guys where we're gonna be there for about 4 days, renting cabins, riding, so it should be a good time. Follow that channel if you're not already, but back to this video. So as a lot of you probably saw in my last video, I did Harley's 128 kit on this bike, but I gutted a lot of the internals. I'll talk about that in just a second in case you haven't seen that video, but we're gonna talk about Chris's bike first because he's also running Harley's 135 engine, but he's switched a few things in there. So our plan is we're going to talk about Chris's bike really quickly, then we're gonna get out on these bikes. I'm gonna let him ride mine. He's not ridden it yet. I have not ridden his yet. So we're gonna ride to get food. While we eat, we'll talk about what we noticed about each other's bike, and then we'll line these two bikes up just for fun, just as a goof. He's still working on some clutch things with his. I still have terrible stock tires on mine, but we'll just see what happens. My bike's lighter, his makes a lot more power. So stick around to the end of the video for that. So this is obviously the CVO Street Glide with a lot of stuff done to it. So we'll start at the back, work our way around. So you can see he's got the Screamin Eagle Olin shocks on the rear. Also got a color match tour pack. That thing looks pretty sick on there. So running a Sawicki pipe, but he is good friends with Sawicki, so they are playing with different pipes to see which one they're going to get the most power out of. So it's going to remain a Sawicki pipe, but the pipe itself may change, as is the air cleaner. So this is the Screamin Eagle air cleaner. Really clean, really nice design, but as guys do, we change stuff, we tweak stuff, and we're never satisfied. So this will always be changing. Now let's talk about Harley's 135 cubic inch engine, because I'm going to give you the numbers that this thing made in just a little bit. But before I do that, I want to talk about what's been changed. So he's gone with essentially the same stuff I did on my engine. So we're basically identical in that regard. So I don't have to regurgitate stuff you may have already heard about mine. His is the Star Racing 3/4 race cam, the 640 springs, and the billet compensator. All the same things I did to mine. The Screamin Eagle adjustable push rods. So that's pretty much it for his 135. Same stuff I did to mine. This bike made amazing power. You can see he's done bars on this thing. The one thing Chris did that I haven't done that I'll probably end up doing, I don't feel like I have to do it just yet. It feels like it's fine. But he did upgrade his springs and clutch plate in this bike. And that's something I think, you know, with the numbers we're making, my bike was 145 horse, 142 torque. It's just better to do. I'm one of those, I like preventative maintenance. So if I think it's gonna give me trouble, I would rather go ahead and address it now. As far as the numbers on this bike, it's not, and it's like final tune, so a few things will change, but as of right now, it's somewhere in the 160 horsepower range, 160 torque range, which is getting up there for Harley Davidson. Once we kind of get this thing ironed out and get it where Chris is happy with it, I'll make another video on it showing what exactly we got out of it numbers-wise, show you guys some runs on the dyno and whatnot when we get to the final tune part. But enough talking, enough walking around the bike. We're gonna get these things out, go for a ride, and then we'll catch up with you guys at the lunch spot. One thing that's a little different for me is jumping on this bike that has an actual tachometer instead of my digital down here on my run them at high RPM. So guys that build these bikes and don't need them, I made a video that was pretty controversial about that. I'll throw it up in case you guys want to go check that out. But guys that build stuff like this and either don't know how to ride it or don't need it or don't use it tend to have problems. You're not supposed to run these things at low RPM. So I've even gotten some comments on some of my videos, bro, you need to shift, which is not the case. My personal bike, the one Chris is on, I keep it around 3,000 to 3,500 when I'm cruising, and I'm going to do the same with his. That's where it's happy. That's where it lives. Bro's got the heated grip saw. It's 74 degrees. Earlier in the video how it's not on its final tune. He's going to swap some parts around. One thing I do have to say is with my limited time spent on this bike, the tune that's in it is really good. Set up how it is as far as there's no flat spots in this tune. I rolled on the throttle and it was there and pulled the whole time. So on my bike, it is more flat down low. So anything 2,200 to 3,000 RPMs is kind of flat, which is fine for me. Again, I don't ride in the RPM range really. You know, I also just thought about, I don't normally run apes, as I mentioned. Chris doesn't normally run T-bar, so have to remember to ask him how he felt about those bars. I gotta give Cam, Cam's the same guy that tuned my bike. I gotta give Cam some credit on this one. I'm happy with my bike, don't get me wrong, but this thing is just buttery smooth in the tune. So we're cruising down this way. I want to check something out. I'm thinking that after we eat lunch, this may be the spot to run these bikes. So this road was just paved. There's no driveways on either side, and as you can see, it's super straight. Yeah, I mean, dude, look at this road. Perfectly paved, perfectly straight. No real driveways that traffic should be coming out of. So this is definitely going to be the spot. So, we are back on the bikes. So, that's what happens when you have a tire that hooks. Dude, that is absolutely insane. No big deal. Just ripping wheelies on a bagger. Did him dirty. Trying to find where we should start the foolishness. This looks like a good spot. Where do you want to go to? Let's do where the road dips, that next shadow.
See where the yellow sign is on that pole?
Yeah? Yeah, that's perfect. Ready? Also, this road is closed. This is a closed course, and we're trained professionals. The cars that you're seeing on this road are track officials. So, as my duty as a YouTuber, I have to encourage you guys to not race on public roads or break the speed limit or any other laws for that matter. Obviously, I left late and let out early. Even though this is a closed course, it still feels kind of sketchy. I obviously am not looking at the speedo, so I'll see what speeds we were at when I edit this video. Felt pretty fast, super happy with the bike. It obviously had plenty more in the tank, and honestly, I feel like I was pulling if I would have stayed in it. If we would have left at the same time and I would have stayed in it, I feel like I would have had him pretty good, but we'll see. All right, so the initial plan was to talk about our experience riding each other's bikes at lunch, but that idea kind of sucked. So we'll do it now. Chris, what did you notice when you rode this?
The only thing I noticed about yours, kind of different than mine for the most part, was yours took your bike didn't pick up until about 3,500 or so.
Yep.
Where my bike kind of has power from the bottom.
Yeah, yours is to me what I would call like a perfect map where it's very linear growth. So you roll on it, it's there. Mine's almost to me not there at all in the beginning, and then like you said, around 3,500, then it's hammering, and that's usually, I mean, I ride like that anyway, 32 to 3,500. So I'm always in the power band, so it doesn't affect me. But people that don't ride like us or ride bikes like us would probably not like that because it lugs if you're in too high of a gear. And that's basically what I noticed about yours was that linear power that just pulled perfect the whole time. And dude, that for as heavy as that bike is, like,
it's crazy.
Son, that is insane. As you guys saw from the footage, I mean, the Honda that I showed you at the beginning of the video is 300 pounds, and Power Wheelie's about the same as this, which, dude, I'm going to say what? You think it's probably close to 9? You think that bike's...
I'm pretty sure 900 pounds because of tour pack and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Which is absolutely insane. How do you... So I said it in the video as we were kind of doing the runs, but I don't think we ever got an equal start. I think... The first one I left before you. The second one, you left before me, but it was my fault. I hesitated for whatever reason. And then the third one, same thing. I left before you. So I don't think we have a true comparison yet. And then also, I know my wheel spun on the last one. How do you feel about running them?
I think they're pretty equal.
Yeah, you've got more power. You've also got more weight. So, yeah, I would say they're very comparable in power, given if you keep your front wheel down and I hook, I think they're pretty much dead even.
Because I'm leaving real soft just because I'm not...
Yeah, exactly. And I should have left soft on the last one, and I didn't. But all that to say, these things are a ton of fun. Chris is not done with his. In my opinion, I'm done with mine as long as I don't have any clutch issues. If I do, I'm gonna go the route he did, springs and plates on mine. And I do plan to put those Shinkos on there. So after that, I think I'm done. We both mentioned brakes. We may play around with the brakes because here's the thing, they go really fast. I don't know about yours because I never like hammered it, but mine doesn't stop as fast as it goes.
No, I definitely want to think about doing something with the brakes.
Yeah. So you're gonna start with rotors and go from there, or what are you thinking?
I got to look into it because I've always done a bunch of motor stuff.
Yeah,
Done some suspension stuff.
Yeah.
I've never done nothing.
So
with
very
the brakes,
important, guys. If you make your bike go fast, make it stop fast. So prioritize your money there. First on going fast, then on stopping fast, because you don't need it to stop fast if it don't go fast. And then if you have any money left over, put it all in the looks. You have anything else to add, Chris?
That's it. It was fun hanging out.
I think we both need to thank Timms Harley Davidson in Anderson, South Carolina. They helped both of us greatly with these builds. So shout out to them. Follow them on social media if you're not. I'll put all their links up in the video now.
I also want to thank Jamie and the guys up at Swicky Speed.
Subscribe to this channel if you're not already. 80% of you that rewatch these videos are not subscribed. So subscribe, I can do cooler stuff for you guys. Thanks for watching, I'll catch you in the next video.